Hello everyone, welcome to my bold and beautiful Gossip Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Deacon informs Finn an impossible story regarding Sugar and Sheila. At Il Giardino, Elder reasoned that it might have been Sugar that he'd seen on that section. Persuaded that he wasn't losing it, he addressed where Sheila could be. As Minister got his telephone to settle on a decision, he expressed, "Your mom might in any case be alive, Finn." At the Precipice House, Finn let Steffi know that he wouldn't be at the emergency clinic long that day, and she'd concluded that she'd be sitting tight for him when he got back. Trust showed up, astounded that the entryway was opened, and said it must be pleasant without the gatekeepers around. Trust was right on time for her gathering with Steffi on the grounds that Trust needed to apologize in the interest of her dad for the insane things he'd said about Sheila. Trust expressed that her dad was harming, however they'd all adequately experienced, particularly Steffi. Finn didn't think Elder planned to hurt anybody and was basically trying to claim ignorance and giving himself trust that Sheila was alive. Steffi attested that Sheila was proceeded to say thanks to God for it. Finn arranged to take off for work, and Trust and Steffi went to work at the eating table. Finn got a critical instant message from Minister. Finn checked out at Steffi and stopped in thought. Afterward, Steffi said expectation had aggressive focuses for Trust's line, and Trust answered that she had an aggressive group. To Steffi, maybe Trust was dealing with the change. Since Thomas and Douglas left? Trust inquired. Steffi commented that the folks were partaking in their time abroad. Trust answered that she'd heard. Steffi said it had been really great for them. Trust answered that it had been trying for her since she missed them. Steffi conceded that she did, as well. Trust said Steffi needed Trust away from Thomas and didn't need to fake compassion. Trust encouraged Steffi to be thankful for common decency in her life. Sheila was gone, and Steffi was hitched to an extraordinary spouse and father. Steffi said she realized that she was so honored to have Finn in her life, and she and Finn had their difficulties with Sheila. Trust answered that he'd stayed faithful to Steffi and Finn never at any point needed to stress over Sheila once more. Steffi was thankful for it since she didn't have the foggiest idea a greater amount of Sheila her marriage could take. Back at Il Giardino, Finn showed up and was a piece bothered. He said he was finished with the Sheila stuff. Elder asserted he'd sorted it out and was more persuaded than any other time in recent memory that she was alive. Finn addressed Elder on the fact that it was so unfortunate to stick to such thoughts, however Minister demanded that they expected to track down Sheila. Finn went to leave, shouting that he'd had enough. Minister turned Finn around, saying his introduction to the world mother required him. Finn had adequately heard and didn't have any desire to hear anything else around 10 toes. Elder started discussing Sugar and made sense of that he'd got some information about it. Minister advised Finn to prepare himself since Elder realized the reason why he'd seen Sheila's face and 10 toes. Since it wasn't Sheila's face, Minister expressed. He said Sheila and Sugar had become, indeed, the very same. Finn wasn't following. Minister uncovered that Sheila had guaranteed Sugar plastic medical procedure however had gotten the specialist to make her closely resemble Sheila. Finn feigned exacerbation and called it crazy, yet Minister demanded that it appeared to be legit. Sugar had been at the crematorium, not Sheila. Sheila was who knows where, still alive, as per Elder. In the plan office, Zen streaked back to him and Luna sorting out what had befallen them. Carter showed up, joking that it was difficult for Zen to work while considering Luna. Not entirely set in stone to give Trust his best plans. Carter proposed Zen telecommute, however Zen said that had been where it had all begun with Luna. Zen inquired as to whether Carter had conversed with anybody about it, in particular Edge. Carter asserted he hadn't. Zen asked Carter to keep it that way since Edge wouldn't comprehend. Carter inquired as to whether Zend comprehended that he'd laid down with his cousin's sweetheart, and Carter concluded that Edge was insignificant after he'd sold out his loved ones. To exacerbate it, Zend was obsessed with Luna, which Carter had concluded from the expression all over. Zend conceded that he was wild about Luna, and that evening, he truly believed she'd needed to accompany him. He reviewed that she'd said she'd been sitting tight for him. Carter inquired as to whether it had made a difference that she'd been with Zend's cousin. Zend answered that R.J. hadn't occurred to him, and at the time, all he'd considered had been Luna. Zend realized that it had been off base, and he wanted to take it back. The night ought to never have occurred, however he was unable to quit considering it on the grounds that, for his purposes, it had been genuine. He reviewed that he'd felt close and associated with Luna that evening, and it had been difficult to perceive how shocked Luna had been. Carter said it wasn't correct, and Zend accused the mints. Zend added that Luna had felt regretful for keeping the mystery from R.J., however long she had. Carter inquired as to whether R.J. had figured out it. Zend addressed whether Carter would comprehend. In Carter's quietness, Zend said, "Who can say for sure what R.J.'s going to do now?" In Eric's office, R.J. shown up as Luna was dropping something off. She chose to go, yet R.J. said that he missed her. She was astounded to hear it, however he conceded that he loathed being separated. He'd needed to call her. He really wanted somebody to converse with about it. He needed to converse with her, yet he didn't have the foggiest idea what to tell her or the proper behavior. It was peculiar to him, and it wasn't what their identity was. Luna concurred however didn't have any idea what to do about it. She asked where things remained between them. R.J. conceded that he was harmed and, surprisingly, more confounded than when he'd originally learned of it. R.J. had been envisioning her with Zend. R.J. didn't fault her for what had occurred and told her not to dare fault herself. However, consider the possibility that you can't move beyond it, she inquired. He answered that he needed to, and he needed their life back. Luna told R.J. that she missed him as well. She missed working with him, messed with him, and being near him at the oceanside house. She was frantic to fix it, and she asked him not to fail to remember the amount she adored him. He answered that he'd love constantly her, and they embraced. The strong and the delightful spoilers for Thursday, April 25, 2024 are here. Anticipate Minister Sharp, Sean Cannon, to draw an obvious conclusion for John Finnegan, Leather Treater Novlin. Coming up on The Striking and the Wonderful. Steffi Forrester Finnegan, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, and Trust Logan, Annika Noel, stand joined together. In addition, Edge Forrester, Torsten K., has uplifting news for Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang. In any case, Brooke has terrible news for Edge. Continue perusing and we should talk about what's coming up in the following episode of the CBS drama. The Striking and the Wonderful spoilers, Minister Sharp's sugar story. B&B spoilers for Thursday, April 25 uncover that Minister will keep begging Finn. Elder began to inform Finn regarding his most recent Sheila Carter, Kimberlyn Brown, revelation. Finn advised Minister that he would have rather not heard any more Sheila hypotheses and to get some mental assistance. In any case, that is when Minister made sense of that he checked some intel through Lauren Fenmore Baldwin, Tracy E. Bregman. B&B spoilers, John Finnegan's 180. On Thursday, April 25, Minister will keep on enlightening Finn concerning Janet Weber, also known as Sugar, any connection to General Emergency Clinic's Heather Weber, played by Backstreet Plants.